I remember that there is something they used to say when I was much younger at home. Now they would say, you don't die for a public cause. Of course, another way of saying it is, it's not my father's business. And
Yeah.
like
Who
you
makes
correctly
of
said,
that? The
because
point
when
is,
Mhm.
sorry, I'm not interjecting with what you just said. The point is, yes, it's not my business, it's not my business. Whose business is that? And who set that pace that you should not start that happening before others will join you? That's the question.
because we're trying to hide our face to say, Namigo Toka. You know, in Nigeria, we are
Yes.
used to no Namigo Toka. Now you because
Uh-huh.
even when you then say it is now you know pass because in
Yeah.
that way it become like nobody's responsibility, which perfectly fit into the
Nobody's responsible.
analogy that you gave. Jack that was serving a
Absolutely.
lot of people to feed him, eventually going to bed with no food because you
That's
didn't
it.
do it thinking that you will do it. You didn't do it thinking that the
Yes,
other will do it. At the end of the
we
day,
do it.
we leave Nigeria to suffer.
That's it.
All right. So it is time that we take responsibility. All of us. All of us. It doesn't mean that now all of us should now become teacher so that we'll be teaching about Nigeria. That is not what it means. It means that
No,
you are a
no.
painter, start doing it from your painting. You are a
Yes,
singer, start doing it with your songs.
yes,
You are a writer, start changing Nigeria with your writing. All of us
absolutely.
have different potential and we are in different field. You are going to
Yes,
change Nigeria from where you are right now.
agreed.
All right. Now I want to touch another thing. I know his silence that you are not a historian. Of course, if you know much about history, that is even good for us again. So the question I put it to you is not as if I'm expecting that you do it from the point of view of a historian. You are a leader, so I ask you, okay? Now, the Nigerian Civil War, that was 6th of January 1967. That is 7 years after our independence, until 1970. That is 3 years of war, where we lost between 2 to 3 million Nigerians. This is one of the events in our history,
Yes.
the history of a country. Does it have any effect to what we are talking about today? What do you want to share with us about the Nigerian Civil War?
The Nigerian Civil War obviously happened due to early perseverance of the leaders of Biafra. It happens due to foresight, let me put it so, of the war head then would have perceived that being together continually will still lead to what we are facing today. And then he began an early war or fight or agitation of give us Biafran state and take your Nigeria. This was what had happened. The effect of it is still blooming today because that is now where we are seeing the results of those time that they have been stopped is now happening presently to us today to still see the perception of the warhead in those days, which was Ojukwu. The life that that situation has claimed, of course, is regrettable because nobody can create any human. But anyway, as God might have it, they would have aged by now, those who fought the war. And they still would have died a natural cause. But their sacrifices, their blood is still crying on the nation because they will be saying, this is what we had seen that was going to happen. before the first war or the war that happened in Nigeria. And yet, our people are still suffering this. The effect, I repeat, the effect of that will continue to show up once in a while in the Nigerian context. And why will it continue to show up? It will continue to show up because in every situation that has happened, and you have the predecessors, you will have those who follow them, fighting the same cause. It is natural. If you are not contented where you are, obviously you find a way to expand your horizon or your sphere. It's a continuous agitation. It's natural. So what I'm answering you there is that it has a great effect on us today. And the effect is still the agitation you are seeing today. And it will not stop. Why would it not stop? It wouldn't stop because the people want to be free. And until they see that freedom that they have been fighting for happen, before they will say, I am fine, I have fought a cause. So the effect of that still remains on what I said earlier on. Let all of us begin to take responsibility of our dear country. Let us not stay back or step back and say, it's not my business. But you dwell in that same country. Why wouldn't it be your business? Who do you expect to fight that cause for you? If you do not, your children will still reap the whole situation. And it will continue, which of course is what is happening today. It was not solved. In history and in all what they have said, when a warhead is alive up to, I think, 30 to 36 years, the sovereign state will be granted. But it was not done in the case of Ojukwu. I don't know who bewitched him at that time. Because according to law, it is said that if he had started and continued to push for that, it would have naturally happened. Because the world powers will come in and say, okay, this guy is fighting for a right cause. But you did not speak evil or ill about the death because he did a lot. For the cause at which it never happened, God knows. Maybe it wasn't the time. So, but the effect of it will continue to roll. This is what I can say.